This isn't confidence. This is. Nobody ever watches it being built. It's quiet, uncomfortable. Most people quit here. But if you stay, this is what changes you. That is why today we're talking about confidence. And I'm doing a back and abs workout here if you want to follow along. Let's start with back rows, 4 sets, and then the last one we do double hands. Have you ever thought, wow, that person is confident and he or she must have something that I don't? Or maybe she's born different, because I have. Oh, and that's a myth. And we know social media can certainly push that. The end product is only shown, but the reason people never feel confident is because they think it's something that they either don't have or are only born with. Oh, and with any dragging movement, any pulling movement, try to keep your traps down and pinkies into your elbows, in your pocket basically. Confidence isn't a feeling, it's a consequence of action. It's speaking up in the meeting when your voice shakes, or posting the video you almost deleted. It's walking in the gym on the day that you wanted to turn around and go home. Sometimes identity works backwards. It follows behavior, not the other way around. Your actions create your confidence, and that's why when you look back one day, everything's changed. Identity follows behavior. Behavior molds and shapes your life. The painful steps forward, the repetition that no one sees, showing up on an ordinary Wednesday when nobody is watching. That is the invisible work. Here's the thing though. Body transformation isn't really about your body. It's your mind's laboratory. Getting lean and building muscle, that is not the real project. It's not just getting lean and building muscle. Most people think they're building a physique. They're actually building a relationship with themselves. You think that you're training your back until you fail a set and you hear how you talk to yourself, until progress becomes slow and you realize how impatient you are, until you skip a workout and you have to choose between shame and compassion. There's a lot going on underneath. Maybe I'll go deeper on that next time in a different video. With straight arms, drag your arms down to the floor and pause at the bottom. Growth is uncomfortable by design. It breaks your patterns to expand you. And sometimes growth looks like rest, not punishment. So take your time between sets because recovery is part of training. One thing I always say is if you want to meet the deepest parts of yourself, dip your toe into a physical transformation because you'll meet your truest self when you're tired, fatigued, overwhelmed, and empty. When there's no one really left to force you to show up but you. Underneath the insecurity and the coping mechanisms, it can all be broken through if you're willing to go there. My biggest challenge was giving myself permission to stand tall in the things that I knew that I deserved. Perhaps a way of being, an identity, confident, comfortable in my own skin. Isn't that what we all want? Isn't that the goal? Most people never really find real confidence, their unmasked self or their authentic self, because they search out there for what's already inside them. And that's not healing, that's searching, and they're not the same thing. I used to tell myself I'll be confident once I'm healed enough, improved enough, that I know enough, but how do I go searching for my lung when it's already inside me? I can't actually hold it in my hand, but I know for sure it's there. Confidence works the same way. And then you start to change. And then a war inside you starts between the old you and the one that you're trying to create. A shape perhaps that you can't quite grasp yet, but it hasn't formed. In the middle of becoming, you'll ask very human questions like, am I doing enough? Did I choose right? Am I behind? The insecure version of you only shows up when you deny yourself the very thing that you're reaching for. Give yourself permission to become who you envision and step into it fully because it was always there. From there, it shapes you. Nothing really changes overnight though, and we know that. But somehow we go from one day being scared to step into a gym to a month later when somebody is telling you, oh, I wish I had your confidence. Maybe confidence isn't standing tall because you finally believe in yourself. Maybe confidence is standing tall long enough that one day you realize you already did. Sorry to pause your video, but exercise cue. Try to focus here on your breathing, making sure there's no internal pressure that can create a doming on your abs. Controlling your breathing and focusing on your breathing is just as important as making sure that your legs are lifting in the right way with your coccyx or your butt off of the pad. If you find both legs difficult, try single leg. The incline of the bench doesn't really matter as long as you're challenging yourself either way. And so here's what I want to leave you with from this video and in this video, what I've been talking about this whole time. Confidence isn't a feeling, it's a consequence. It comes from private repetition, and that private repetition actually is what creates the change. A necessary identity change. Confidence then isn't really about something fleeting like joy or satisfaction or whatever emotion. It fits more in the category of grace. It's in the decision to stand tall anyway, to say, I'm okay here and now. Maybe that's a story worth repeating. Perhaps confidence was never the goal, maybe authenticity was. People who are okay in their own skin don't actually need to prove anything to other people. They don't outsource their identity to whoever is watching that day. People aren't missing confidence. What they're missing is the ability to see their own self-concept clearly. What most people call a lack of confidence is then often a shaky self-concept. Not to perform, but to know who they are from within. And that's my 2 cents on that.